So I'll try to narrate this for you. My nose is kind of stopped up, so it might sound funny. This is our old mobile home in Illinois. That's my first dog, Duke. He loved the snow. That snowdrift's probably about 5 foot high. He was actually burrowed down underneath of that when we got home. He heard us, and then all I saw was snow moving, and next thing you know, he popped out. It's Papa's old pickup truck. Like I say, you can see it's quite a bit of snow around here. They used to have a Dodge Ram Charger. This is probably around 1975 or so. As you can see, there was a lot of snow that winter. Some of the other cars completely covered up. The next portion coming up here looks like yours truly playing in the pool, Grandma Vaughn's house. Quite a studly kind of guy there. Not sure what I'm pulling apart. I guess I'm just ripping up the towel because why not? I don't know. Something got stuck in it, I guess. Dad's old Mustang. It's Grandpa Vaughn. And I'm not sure what's going on there, if I was upset about something or what. I think my butt's showing. Don't look at my butt. Here we think I'm gonna. I'm getting some advice to go water Grandpa's butt. There we go. Not sure what he had in the bucket. Probably some type of vegetables from the garden. He always had a garden. Not sure that's actually how that's supposed to go. Oh, there we go. Just scooping up the ball with it, I guess. Never was very good at basketball, but here I could dunk pretty good. I think I still missed it. Yeah. No, I got it. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. That time I missed it. The NBA was never in my future. So this is going to be Dad. That's Papa right there. That guy right there, his name is Dan Haney. He was one of Dad's friends. And then that's Uncle Bill. That's Marty's dad. This was in our first mobile home in Illinois. It was considerably smaller. This was a celebration here because Dad had just got promoted to superintendent. So they bought him a briefcase and some other gifts. Not sure exactly what all's in there because some of it you can't see in the video, but he had that briefcase for a long time. Apparently, it took a little work to get it open. I'm not even sure what that is. Sure, it has something to do with being a superintendent, but I don't know what. This thing here was it's like a little white outhouse porcelain thing. I can't remember what the heck it said on it. Something about taking a crap. That's Della, or not Della, Verlaine. That would be Bill's wife back there in the background. Here you can see the high class layout that we had: paper plates, punch bowl, expertly decorated cake. That is Lanny and Adele Smith. Lanny was Dad's boss. They were close friends of the family for years. That's Dan. I believe that is Larry Buss or Bill Hayden. I can't remember. That's going to be me in the Spider-Man costume, Jennifer, my cousin, in the princess costume, and I believe that's Bart in the Superman costume, and that would be Dan's son. He was buried alive when he was like 10, 11 years old at a construction site. Came back out. He was dead for, I don't know, like 5 minutes or something. They finally brought him back to life, and he was uh, severely mentally damaged after that. He couldn't walk, couldn't feed himself, all that kind of stuff. So he was a really close friend of mine because Dad and Mom hung out with Dan and his wife all the time. That's me, Ma, on Papa's old Bull Taco dirt bike that he used to race. And there's some video later on here of him racing that motorcycle. This is in Bill Grop's garage because we didn't have a garage. We had that shed that was where Duke was at, and that was already filled with motorcycles. So there wasn't any room for another one. I believe this bike and this bronze color one is a chopper that Papa made from old Triumph. That's Willie. That was Bill Grupp's dog. And then there's another Triumph, a blue one that was Grupp's bike. Had saddlebags and stuff on it. And he used to ride it every day to work, rain, snow, didn't matter. He rode that motorcycle all the time. When I first told him, that's Marty and Eric and me and Tracy at Bill Grupp's house. Marty's the one with the weird thing on his head, whatever the hell it is on his head. That's Tracy next to him there. That's Eric in the black shirt next to me. That's going to be Bill Grupp with his new movie camera. That's Aunt Della. That's me and Grandpa Vaughn. He had that damn green recliner until he died, I'm pretty sure. That thing was there forever. You see over on the side is his Bibles. He would sit in that chair and read the Bible every night. I say this is probably around Christmas time or something, which is a little odd for them because they never celebrated Christmas before. Their religion doesn't celebrate Christmas. So one of the first things Papa did when he got out of the house, his very first Christmas, he made sure he had a Christmas tree because he had never had one. That's Grandma. Yeah, it's at Christmas time. There's Mom. If I didn't know better, I'd say she just got off work or something. Looks like she got a name tag on, but I can't tell. Might have been the damn fashion at the time. This can be very early 70s. Like this is maybe 1970. It make me about 4. Gotta help everybody open their gifts. I don't know what half this shit is. Grandpa was a tough old dude. He used to deliver coal, worked as a sharecropper. So, of course, Papa, they grew up pretty poor. And Grandpa ended up going to work at the same construction company that Papa worked at. That's great grandma Boudreaux sitting next to mom, Aunt Jerry. So mom's Aunt Jerry, my great Aunt Jerry, your great great Aunt Jerry, and I believe that was her husband there. And then that's Grandpa Milk right there. Grandma Milk sitting next to him. I believe that boy on the floor right there is Daniel and David, probably Vernon, but I don't know for sure. It's me and Dad playing with some Lincoln logs. Constructing a bridge, it looks like. It's meticulous work. Lincoln logs were awesome. Wooden toys, little slots cut out of them. You put them together, kind of like Legos, only didn't have as many ways to put them together. They were barely should be good for building bridges and log houses. There's an 8-track tape player in the background. Big 70s ashtray on the table. Now mom's come in to take over on the construction side of things. Lincoln logs were also a little more forgiving on your feet than Legos. If you stepped on one barefooted, it wasn't as bad. Still wasn't fun, but it wasn't as bad. This is Papa getting ready to do some racing. If you're wondering what he's doing right there, that thing had a fuel pump on. You had to basically prime the engine and the carburetor. There's Dan helping out with the gas. These races were a big deal. That's another guy named Bill with the long ponytail. I always remember him because he had a motorcycle helmet with a Mickey Mouse head on top of it, and it had a big yellow Dodge cargo van. Him and his wife were seriously hippies. Papaw riding. So we would go off to these races. It'd be an all weekend type thing. This is what they call enduro racing. So there's not really a track. There's just arrows nailed to trees, and then you have to follow those arrows. And it's a timed event. So you leave at a certain time, and you have to make each checkpoint at a certain time. If you're too fast, you lose points. If you're too slow, you lose points. So it's not just a race, but it's also like a skilled type thing. And it went through everything on pavement, through the dirt, through the mud, through the trees, sand. It didn't matter. Snow, whatever the weather happened to be like, or how the weather conditions happened to be like, that's what you were racing in. And Papa always raced bull tacos. It's a Spanish made dirt bike. So they are just coming through the woods. If you're the first guy on the trail, sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing because you're either blazing the trail for everybody else, which means it's rough to get through. But if you're later in there and there's some mud in there, by the time you get to it, it's a mud pit. So you'd see guys run into a ditch and then nobody can get out of it because it's just all tore up trying to cross a creek that wasn't too bad for the first 10 motorcycles. But by the time the 50th motorcycle came through, it was a disaster. I remember going to help Papa set up a race one time. So we went out nailing the arrows up to the trees and all that kind of stuff. And then later I decided I wanted to go for a ride out. So I was going to ride out. He said, just follow the arrows. You'll be fine. Well, I went out riding and started following the arrows coming back, and I followed them to a T, which means I ended up going over logs I didn't have to go over and a bunch of other shit because I didn't think I could deviate from those arrows. It was a rough ride, to say the least. That's Papo there on the black and white bull taco that Mimo was sitting on in the garage. See somebody just dumped their bike in the woods over there in the bushes. These are all fairly small bikes, 250s, 200s. There he goes again. And he won a trophy. Not sure which place he got. That's Lanny and one of the other guys Dad worked with. They were having an arm wrestling contest. Apparently, Lanny was really strong. Maybe it was all the vitamins. He ended up starting his own vitamin company or vitamin distributorship or something. Like, here, feel my forearm. No, feel my forearm. And they're getting ready to do some racing in the snow. Riding wheelies on the icy roads because they got no damn sense. Papa once finished a race on one wheel. Front tire blew out. He ended up like riding a wheelie for half the damn race. Actually, not half the damn race. I think it's just the last fucking 100 yards or something. But still, makes for a better story. Imagine being out there freezing your ass off. Being on the motorcycle wouldn't be quite as bad because you got a hot engine underneath of you. But if you're just standing there watching it, it's damn cold. Fun thing about snow is if you crash in the snow, it's usually a fairly soft landing. Bad thing about the snow is you can't tell where any rocks or roots or anything else are at till you hit them. So this would be a checkpoint. They come in, they check the time, write the time on your deal, and position on each of the bikes. On the top, there'd be a little scrolling uh, paper deal, and that's where they would mark all the information on. And as you can see, they get pretty damn muddy sometimes before these things are over. That was one of Papaw's friends right there. And then here comes Papaw. I think his bike was finished. Oh, no, he was just a pit stop. I'm sure you're probably getting about tired of watching motorcycle racing. It's just about over now. There they are, loading them up, finishing out, getting ready to go home. The bike was black and white to start with. Now it's just brown. I don't know exactly what he's drinking. I know it's not beer because he never drinks. He never drank beer. So and those are some of the trophies he won from racing. That's me. This video would have been in the apartment that we lived in. Um, so that would be a long time ago. I'm probably 3 or 4 here, something like that. There's me, Ma. She didn't like to be on. She never liked to have her pictures taken or videos made or whatever until much later in her life. At this time, she still hadn't gotten her teeth fixed, so she really hated it. But if convinced, she could act a little silly. That's me going, what's wrong with that woman? That is it. So, hope you enjoyed it.